How's it going, everyone? It's Avi from Mother SpongeBob 1000, and in this video we're going to forecast the heat wave that's going on throughout the United States and determine how long it'll last and how high the temperatures should get in each area of the United States. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So let's begin by taking a look at the entirety of the United States, the current temperatures, and you see that for a lot of the Midwestern United States, pretty much surrounding the Mississippi River Valley, we do see that temperatures are well above average, because we're seeing that the temperatures closer to the Great Lakes region hovering around the 90s, and we even see a temperature reading of 97 right around Chicago, which is bordering on record high temperatures for the day in Chicago. And you see that many other areas further southward are experiencing temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, and we're even seeing close to 100-degree temperatures throughout the southeast, including Texas, including Arkansas, Louisiana. All these areas are experiencing temperatures in the high 90s, which is definitely something you need to pay close attention to. You don't want to go out for a prolonged period of time, because unfortunately heat is one of the leading causes of deaths in the United States, or it might be the leading cause of death in the United States. So you need to make sure that you aren't outside for a prolonged period of time, especially if you're one of the more sensitive ones to heat. So make sure to stay indoors during this major heat wave, and just make sure to stay safe and stay hydrated, because heat is one of the silent killers that some people don't take seriously. So make sure to keep that in mind. And you're probably wondering, how long will this heat wave last? So we are expected to receive a cool down, because we do see that just to the west of all this heat, we do see temperatures that are a lot more mild and a lot more closer to average, if not a little bit below average, where we're seeing temperatures throughout Montana, Wyoming, right around the 70s and 60s as a trough is moving through. And it should cool down temperatures temporarily for a lot of the Midwest, but it should rebound back. And as for the Southwest, I don't expect this heat wave to go away. So if we were to take a look at the temperature anomaly forecast over the next several days, so let's take a look at it right now, you're going to see that temperatures, at least based on what the GFS model is forecasting, are hovering right around 10 to 15 degrees above average, right around the Great Lakes region. And we do see temperatures slightly above average closer to the southeast, where temperatures typically do exceed 90 on a typical summer day that far south, but not up to the upper 90s, typically speaking. And we do see that the southwestern coast is also experiencing temperatures much warmer than averages as a result of a ridge that's pretty much building throughout the southeast, that's bringing a strong southerly flow to bring those temperatures up throughout the Midwest and the southeast. So if I were to show you guys this next cool down, you're gonna see that we do have this big ridge, but look at just to the north of it, we do have this trough moving through the southern portion of Canada, and we do see a slight jet stream dip, because this is bringing at least a decent enough of a northerly flow to where some of that cold air from further northward will move to the United States, which should cool down temperatures temporarily. However, the cool down won't be very significant, I'd say. Of course, temperatures will fall slightly below average, but it won't be to the point where you'll really feel the much cooler than average temperatures, as it'll be more in line with what you typically experience during the summer. It's not until next week where we really do begin to see that major cool down, where temperatures will be well below average. Let me show you guys the temperature anomaly again. So here's the heat, and you see that as this trough moves through, we do see the temperatures stabilize a little bit and move closer to average. And as for the northeast, you see that you guys aren't necessarily experiencing a heat wave. This is as a result of an upper level low that's expected to build over the next several days that should bring more cloudy conditions right around the northeast, and we should see a little bit of a stronger northerly flow as a result of this upper level low that's going to be just off the coast. And a significant jet stream dip exists in this area. So as a result, the northeast shouldn't experience above average temperatures until later during the week. But as for the Midwest, that's a different story because we do see that slight cool down before temperatures as soon as the Thursday time frame rebound back to above average, and the Southwest remains well above average with temperatures hovering around 15 to 20 degrees above average right around California, Arizona, Nevada. So this is definitely something to keep in mind, and if you're into the heat in some of these areas, and this is definitely a good time to enjoy it because temperatures will be well above average throughout the Midwest. And you see that ahead into this weekend, we do see that cool down begin to come into the United States, and this is as a result of a trough that's much colder to the point where we're in fact going to see some snow right around just north of the United States border in Canada, which is definitely quite surprising because we're entering late June now. Today is the first day of summer, in fact. So the fact that there's snow right around Canada, very close to the United States border, speaks a lot to how cold this next trough will be. But you see that this heat should for a lot of the Midwest, the northern Midwest, temperatures should rebound more or fall down back to average for tomorrow before it rebounds back. I'd say right around Thursday time frame, that's when temperatures throughout the Midwest will rebound back well above average, and then it's not until Sunday to Monday we see the cooler than average temperatures dominate the northern Midwest, and eventually the Northeast should get involved with some higher than average temperatures headed more towards this weekend as this trough continues to cool down temperatures throughout the Midwest. But as for the West Coast, the heat wave should get worse for you guys because you see that by this weekend we should see temperatures 20 degrees above average at times along the West Coast, which is definitely something to keep in mind, especially if you're further along the coast, because you won't be as affected by the temperature won't be as affected by the cooler than average sea surface temperatures just off the Pacific coast. So you definitely need to be aware that this heat wave isn't expected to end it for the foreseeable future for the West Coast, but it's a different story for the Midwest because I'd say pretty much by this weekend and Saturday into Sunday, that's when temperatures should become cooler than average. So make sure to keep that in mind. And the European model agrees with this. Temperatures should be well below average. In fact, we're seeing temperatures 10 to 20 degrees below average at times and a little bit more in some areas. We're going to need to see where the worst of the cold will be located. But this also does raise a concern of severe weather next week because when we're seeing this much instability, especially right around Southeast where temperatures are above average and then temperatures just to the north of it are well below average, then that should create a little bit of instability for some severe weather to occur. So we need to watch that into next week as well. But for the West Coast, make sure to stay prepared for the east, for the heat, as well as the Northeast and the Midwest as well. So in terms of my forecast over the next 5 to 7 days of how much warmer than average temperatures each area will experience. So you see that for pretty much most of the Southeast, I'm expecting temperatures for the most part this week to be 10 to 20 degrees above average, which is quite high, which should bring temperatures up to the 100s at times throughout the Southeast. So you definitely don't want to be outside for a prolonged period. And also the Great Lakes region, especially, I think temperatures should be 10 to 20 degrees above average for the most part this week. So keep that in mind as well. And you see that for a majority of the United States, I'm expecting temperatures at least 5 to 10 degrees above average. It won't necessarily be huge, but it is enough to at least notice it. And of course, along the West Coast, I'm expecting temperatures 20 degrees above average, which for some along the West Coast, that might be good because especially along the coast, temperatures don't necessarily get so hot for, let's say, beach weather. So seeing temperatures 20 degrees above average might be welcome for some along the coast, but you also need to take precaution, especially in areas where temperatures do typically get very high, which is more inland along the West Coast. So make sure to prepare along the West Coast as well for these much warmer than average temperatures. So this is my heat wave forecast. Make sure, guys, to stay safe, and I guess that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. And I hope you guys all have a great day, and make sure to stay safe.